Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pillar to Post, and this is April 28th, 2017, and we here at Pillar to Post are going to give you your payback predictions and review going into this weekend. Now, everyone knows that the go-home show for Payback was complete shit. Now, in a bad day, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because I was trying to look on the brighter side of things. I was trying to kind of influence a better mindset in what I was thinking. And going back over Raw this past week, it was complete shit. Complete shit. For a go-home show, it did nothing to lead into this pay-per-view. This pay-per-view, as you know, is Payback, and it goes live on Sunday at 8 p.m. Now, I'm going to go through each step of the match, or each match of the card. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the match, leading into it, what I believe is going to happen, and how it's going to end. There is not a lot to go off of. They've only really clearly built up a couple of people in this card, and that being Braun Strowman and his match against Superman, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe. Those are the only matches they've really built up. Yes, they did a little bit with the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, but it doesn't make sense. Neither does Jericho and Kevin Owens. It just doesn't make sense. They have worked with the storylines, but do we care about them? Do we care about them? No, I don't. So, we're going to go into the card. We're going to start with the pre-show. And the pre-show reads like this, and let me pull up my notes here. So on the pre-show, we're going to have a special Payback kickoff edition of Miz TV, and his guest will be Finn Balor. Now, you know my thoughts on these shows that they have on Raw and SmackDown. Miz TV, the Ambrose Asylum, the highlight reel. It is garbage. They don't do anything worthwhile with them. They could, but it doesn't happen. Does anyone care? Well, they probably care because Finn Balor is going to be on Miz TV. They want to know what he's got to say. Other than that, I don't give a shit. The only kickoff match that they're going to have is Enzo and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And yes, we have seen this match many, many times and in different forms. We've seen them verse each other in singles matches. We've seen them battle it out in tag team matches. We've seen them battle it out in multi-tag team matches. It's on and on and on again. Yes, they've started building up Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They've started looking a little bit better. I still hate their promos. Their promos suck. You've got Carl Anderson calling names like Butt Nugget, and Luke Gallows calling people nerds. Give me a break. You guys need to work on your promos. I'm pretty sure you guys could give us a lot better than what you're doing. Yes, I know it's scripted, but you're on live television. Push the envelope. What are they going to do? Give you shit if you cut an actual good promo? Enzo and Cass, they have been getting beat up and ragdolled like nobody's business. But they are due for a win. Now, rumors are that if the Hardys wouldn't have come in, these guys would be your Raw Tag Team Champions at the moment. But because the deal went through with the Hardys, that was changed, and the Hardys are your undisputed Tag Team Champions. But you look at everything that's going on. You got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They've got momentum. Yes, they could win. They could very possibly win. But I see the WWE actually leaning more towards Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass have been their promo guys. They liven up the fans. They get them riled up. They get them into the show. They've been using them for promo work for, what was it, Disney or whatever it is. You know, I think it is their time. They're due for a win. They've been taking loss after loss. Enzo's been getting ragdolled all over the place. I think it's time, and I'm going to go with Enzo and Big Cass. Why? It's just the way WWE works in my eyes. Now, you can consider that if the Hardy Boys retain this weekend and keep their titles, that there needs to be a second heel tag team to compete against them, because we all know WWE doesn't really like to pit heel versus heel and face versus face. So for storyline's sake, yes, they could push that. But with the rumors that are coming out, it is very possible that the broken Matt Hardy gimmick will go live after this pay-per-view. Very likely. If those rumors are live. Now, they could wait. But if that happens, I see Enzo and Cass taking the win. And I will go with Enzo and Cass. I do. I believe that's what WWE is going to look for. I think these guys need that boost in their career, that momentum. These guys should have been tag team champions a long time ago, and yet for some reason they have always been getting, you know, they get momentum behind them and then they get knocked back down, way down, right down to the basement level. You know, it is, I think it's time. I think it's time Enzo and Big Cass pick up a big win, move up towards contendership for a tag team title match. My thoughts, my opinion. Now, this match could end in a couple of ways. It could end clean. Who knows? Or Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson use nefarious means to try and gain the win. They get caught, and it is a disqualification. I kind of aim for that disqualification finish. That's kind of the way I'm leaning to, because they've got a habit of making Enzo and Big Cass look strong in the ring, but they lose in a bad way. So it could be a disqualification. I'm going to lean towards a DQ for the win, Enzo and Big Cass. Now up next, we've got the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville, who is the Cruiserweight Champion, the king of the Cruiserweights, I should say, and his opponent is Austin Aries. And this is technically a rematch. He won his number one contendership again after losing at WrestleMania to Neville. There are a lot of people speculating that Austin Aries will take the win. My thoughts: Austin Aries isn't there yet. I don't think the fans are willing to accept him as a champion just quite yet. Neville has changed his career around from going into obscurity where we didn't see him at all, to being this top level heel. He's the champion in the cruiserweights. His promo work has just excelled. He's on the nose with it. He is doing a great job. This is his best run in his career here in WWE. Now, I don't know about outside of WWE, but this is his best run. And at his age, I think he needs a little bit of a longer run. I see Austin Aries eventually grabbing that win, grabbing that title, but not yet. Now, that's my thing, though. That's my opinion. I would pick Neville as the winner. But what's in the mind of WWE? Could they want Austin Aries to take that? yes, it could be used to fuel the feud back and forth a little bit more, but do we want to see a back and forth swap with the Cruiserweight title like we've seen with the women's division on Raw? I don't want to see that. I want to see a great match. I want to see a Cruiserweight match. I want to see what these guys can really do, because their match at WrestleMania was a lackluster match. It wasn't something that made us, edge towards the edge of our seat, or inch towards the edge of our seat. It didn't make us want to get up and just scream, and it wasn't that. I think these guys can do better. I hope they do better at Payback, because frankly, right now, this pay-per-view, everything about it sucks right now. Everything sucks about it. So I'm going to pick Neville to retain. I think he's got more time as a champion to come. I think his reign needs to go on longer. I think he needs to make a statement and show that he is the reigning king of the Cruiserweight division. WWE, I have a funny feeling though, they're going to pick Austin Aries. For me, I'm picking Neville. I say WWE leans towards Austin Aries for the win. Now, if Austin Aries does win, I say it's by submission hold, and that's the way the match ends. But my opinion, Neville needs to continue his reign. My pick is Neville. Is it going to be a great match? I'm hoping it is better than what we've seen at WrestleMania. I honestly do. Now, the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Like I said, there is some rumors that kind of make it hard to call this match. Now, if it's true that WWE came to a settlement with Impact Wrestling and Anthem Sports, it's very likely we are going to see the Broken Universe finally enter the WWE arenas. So if that happens, it's hard to pick the Hardys as the winners, because there needs to be a reason why Matt Hardy becomes broken in the WWE. There needs to be a storyline behind it. And if that is true and they are going to come out with it right away, Sheamus and Cesaro win. Now, they're going to win probably by nefarious ways. Look at what's been going on the last couple of weeks. They've been in singles competition against each other, and at the end of the match, there's always some kind of friction there, and yet there's an uneasy truce and a handshake that follows. So, do they make Sheamus and Cesaro go heel and pick up the win by nefarious means and become the champions that way? Or do they wait with the broken Matt Hardy gimmick and let it build up a little bit more and maybe have some kind of other element in place to turn him broken? If Matt Hardy does not go broken after this pay-per-view, I say the Hardy Boys win in the Hardy Boys fashion. I think this is going to make Sheamus and Cesaro go heel in a big way. I think they're going to be so frustrated that they're going to turn heel. I think there's going to be an attack after the match. Maybe that makes both the Hardys go broken for a time. And then the rumored draft comes around SummerSlam time, and the Hardy Boys get split. We get the enigmatic Jeff Hardy on Raw, and we get the broken Matt Hardy on SmackDown. Could happen. Could happen. So I'm going to go with the Hardy Boys for now, because it is hard to tell if these rumors are true. It's very hard. Rumors and assumptions can make anyone look like an ass. So I'm going to go with what I know for now. I'm going to pick the Hardy Boys to go over. Now, if it is true, I'm still going to pick them, because I say the Hardy Boys win. They retain their tag team titles. Sheamus and Cesaro go heel because of being frustrated that they took another loss to the Hardy Boys. They attack the Hardy Boys after the match. They go heel. And that attack brings on the brokenness in Matt Hardy. Brings out Brother Nero. And for a time we have them on Raw until the brand draft. That is my prediction for this match. That's what I'm going to go with. Seth freaking Rollins versus Samoa Joe. I should say the Destroyer, Samoa Joe. I have a hard time with this match. I really do, because they're building Seth Rollins back up. But I've got a problem with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, right now, needs to seriously work on his character, because he is suffering from a major identity crisis. I apologize for the train. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, he's Seth freaking Rollins. What does that mean to anyone? What does that seriously mean to anyone? He is the Kingslayer. Yes, he defeated Triple H. That gives him momentum. So he's the Kingslayer and he's Seth freaking Rollins. He's been the architect. He's been, the part of the Shield. He has been so many different variations of himself. I think he's lost who he was and who he was supposed to be. Is this his fault? No. Now, this match alone came from a fluke. What do I mean by that? Well, it was a fluke injury. Samoa Joe came out to do Triple H's bidding. He was supposed to destroy Seth Rollins. Accidents happened. Seth's knee got wrecked. He had to take time away. Came back. And that's how this feud was born. Now, they are, like I said, building Seth Rollins back up. But they're also building Samoa Joe up to this destroyer character. And look at what this guy has done since entering the WWE. Do you really think that he's going to lose clean or lose it all against Seth Rollins at Payback? It's very hard to pick, because essentially and figuratively, WWE has shot themselves in the ass by booking this match, by having this match happen, because, like I said, it all came from a fluke. So, my prediction. I don't want to see a fuck finish. I really don't. I don't want to see any type of DQ. I don't want to see any kind of, count out or draw. It can't end that way. Seth Rollins needs to look strong. Samoa Joe needs to look strong. So, we know Seth Rollins just came out with a new finisher. He's scrapped the pedigree finally. It looked terrible on him. Samoa Joe is that in-your-face guy. He is a fighter. He is the destroyer. He's been built up to the point where if he takes a loss to Seth Rollins, it's going to damage his rise in or on Raw. So I'm going to say Samoa Joe takes the win. I say he takes the win by submission. Now, the only way this doesn't hurt Seth Rollins' momentum or rise is if, 1, he doesn't tap out. 2, he passes out. He tries to hold on to the point where the coquina clutch makes him pass out. That is the only way I can see this match ending the right way. Is WWE going to do that way? I don't know. It is hard to say. You can look at all the other matches below and say, well, WWE is probably leaning towards this way. I'm going to go this way. And it can work in many of the matches I just spoke of. But this match itself, there is only one way it can go without it damaging both of these guys' momentum and rise. And that is to have Samoa Joe win by submission, but no tap out. It's got to be Seth Rollins passing out because he tried to hold on. Basically, your Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart match from years gone by, where Bret Hart applied the sharpshooter, but Stone Cold Steve Austin refused to tap out and he passed out from the pain. That is the only way this match can go. Now, when I'm done and this is uploaded, I want you to post in the comment section below your predictions. Let's discuss our predictions as a group. I want to hear your thoughts on this match card. I know it is a shit pay-per-view, but it's something to discuss. So discuss this with me in the comments below. Give me your predictions. Up next, we've got the Raw Women's Championship match. Bayley, who is the Raw Women's Champion, versus Alexa Bliss, who was recently traded from SmackDown to Raw, exchanged for Charlotte, who went from Raw over to SmackDown. There is a lot of factors in this match. Alexa is fresh on Raw. Bayley, she just had her WrestleMania moment. Charlotte Flair factors into this match in a big way, because I've got an article I want to read later on, and I'm going to do that after the predictions on a separate show or episode. But they already started talking about how Charlotte Flair is breaking new records on SmackDown. She's the first woman to do this. She's the first woman to do that. I don't believe they're going to let Alexa Bliss become the first woman to become a champion on SmackDown as well as Raw. I don't see that happening. They like to give that glory for some reason to Charlotte Flair. Yes, Alexa Bliss is better on the mic. She does need more ring work. I think the pure athlete is Charlotte. But all in all, when it comes to better storylines, better matches, Alexa Bliss has gotten the better angles and the better matches, I believe, in my point of view. So, I'm going to say Bayley retains. Bayley retains her title. I don't know if it's going to be a clean win. I know she's going to be the reigning champion after this match, because there, like I said, there's other factors. There's the Sasha Banks angle as well. There's rumor that they're working on a feud between Bayley and Sasha down the road. What does a feud mean between these two without the women's championship there? If that is not in the picture, then it doesn't work. Thank you, hon.
I bet you that was cold.
No. Excuse me, that was my wife. But like I said, it is too soon for Alexa Bliss on Raw to win the champion. They're not going to allow her to achieve something that Charlotte has yet to do. So, you've got the Bayley and Sasha Banks angle playing a factor in this as well. That's supposed to come down the road very soon. So, Bayley retains. And then after Payback, I believe there's going to be something that happens that brings upon the Sasha Banks and Bayley feud. That is the only way this match will work. Especially since WWE likes to give a lot of the record-breaking glory over to Charlotte Flair. For some unknown reason, that robotic talking bitch is seen as worthy of these accolades more than any other women on the Raw and SmackDown brand. Moving on, we've got the United States Championship match, and that's Kevin Owens, thank you sweetheart, versus Chris Jericho for, like I said, the United States Championship belt. We all know And I've got an article as well as when Chris Jericho's leaving for his work on the Fozzy recordings and tours and stuff like that. And I'll get into that in the next episode. But that is playing a big factor in this match. Second, they are really working on this angle with Kevin Owens being the new face of America. Does this make sense if Kevin Owens does not have the U.S. title? No, it does not. Also, it factors in that if Chris Jericho wins, he goes over to SmackDown. And to me, I don't think it's going to work. I really don't. He's supposed to be leaving for his tour and recordings with Fozzy. He probably won't be back till at least SummerSlam. So what's the point of putting a title on this guy? He's going to leave in like a week or two, maybe in a month. And then you've got Kevin Owens, who's made and brought more attention to the U.S. title than anyone has in months gone by. So you look at what's been going on with the U.S. title. Roman Reigns only really defended it against one person, that was Rusev. Other than that, he didn't do anything with it. He dragged it around like it was a worthless title that didn't mean anything to him. You had Dean Ambrose. He did absolutely nothing with the U.S. title. Absolutely nothing. I don't even think he defended it except for the one time, and that was when he lost it. And you had... Who else was U.S. champion? Can't fucking remember. But either way, no one's really done anything with this title. Now, do I like the whole Kevin Owens, a Canadian, playing the cheap heat card with the, I'm the new face of America? No, I don't. But there are a lot of fans that do. So it is working. I'm going to say Kevin Owens takes the win because of all the factors that play towards him. And he's going to have a reign with this title, probably make it more desirable to achieve that title than it has in the for a long time now. Chris Jericho fades away and goes on his tour, comes back around SummerSlam time. So Kevin Owens retains and will continue to be your United States champion on SmackDown. And by the way, I don't know why they keep on talking about this being a Raw branded pay-per-view when we've got two matches that clearly have SmackDown talent. It doesn't make sense. Now, the Superstar Shakeup fucked with this pay-per-view in a big way. And we ended up with matches like Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, and they're not on the same show. The House of Horrors match. Nobody clearly understands what this is going to be. Rumor has it that it will partially be recorded beforehand. Now, it could probably be at the compound of the Wyatt family. It could be a fun house. It could be a horror house. Some abandoned building that they've put a bunch of, weapons in and freaky looking symbols and crap like that. Nobody knows for sure. It could even be a cage match. But the rumors are it's going to be pre-recorded. And then it's going to spill out into the arena. They're going to have them spill it out into the arena later on. And it's going to be finished inside the squared circle. Another match that makes no sense at the moment. They've taken out any influence of the SmackDown WWE World title out of this match. There's nothing. There's no big titles on the show. Everyone knows Brock Lesnar is not going to be here. The Intercontinental title is not being defended at this pay-per-view. It is a strange pay-per-view for me to even grasp the concept of. Now, like I said, Randy Orton, since the title is not involved, this makes it easier to predict what this match is going to be or I should say what's going to happen in this match. I'm hoping it's not going to be the ridiculous bullshit we've seen at WrestleMania with the projector overhead showing bugs and bullshit. It looked silly. It looked like garbage. This match has to be better. And seen as the SmackDown World title isn't involved, the WWE World title, I should say, I don't see Randy Orton winning this. He doesn't need to win it. He doesn't. It's not going to affect his standing because Bray Wyatt's on Raw now. And for Bray Wyatt to grab this victory over the SmackDown champion, it makes him more credible on Raw. It gives him a push in the right direction on Raw. He beat the SmackDown champion. So where does he go? He can't go down. He has to climb the ladder. He has to be in that main event echelon. There is no doubt about it. He's got to be there. Any other place doesn't make sense to have Bray Wyatt in it. So I'm going to pick Bray Wyatt for the win of the House of Horrors match. Because there's no other call that you can make. The title isn't involved anymore. Randy Orton does not have to win this match because it's going to do nothing for him regardless of win or loss. It has nothing to do with it. He's got Jinder Mahal feuding with him right now. Stole his title on SmackDown this past week. So he's got that feud. This needs to be finished because right now everyone's just kind of clueless as to what the fuck. So Bray Wyatt takes the win. We all go home happy because he did. I'm just hoping that they give us a House of Horrors match that is enjoyable to watch. It's exciting. It's a lot of things. It's creepy. You know, it's got to be a lot of things because if it's a House of Horrors match and it's like a fun house at an amusement park, I'm gonna look at it like, what the fuck, you know? This is not a House of Horrors. It's got to be a legit House of Horrors match. Last but not least, actually, yeah, it is Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Now, we haven't seen Roman Reigns on television for a couple of weeks now, and there is some factors playing into that. He has been working the house shows, but on WWE TV, he's selling the injuries Braun Strowman gave him, as well as mourning the death of his brother Matt, also known as Rosie. So, to have him come back as the Superman that can take all the punishment and just keep on going, I don't see that happening. Yes, there is going to be that, but when it comes to overall, look at what Braun Strowman's been doing the last month, month or so on Raw television. He took out Roman Reigns in a big way, flipped the ambulance over, decimated Roman Reigns, decimated. And yes, he lost his match to Kalisto, the dumpster match. It didn't do anything for Braun Strowman. It didn't make him look bad because, for one, that match was bullshit. You are supposed to... It should have been like a casket match. You get put in the dumpster, you have to climb out, you have to close the lid. That's the end of the match. He got drop kicked in his lower legs, got kicked off the apron. He basically just dropped straight down in. And then they rang the bell. Give me a fucking break. And then he went on after the match to annihilate Kalisto for winning the match. And everything that's been going, all the things that they've been doing with Braun Strowman to build him up. And with him warning Brock Lesnar that, don't forget about me, I'm still here, I'm watching you. You have to take that into a factor. They are working on a Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar match. And that will be coming up very shortly. So if they have Roman Reigns take out Braun Strowman, what does that do for Braun Strowman going into Brock Lesnar? It makes him look really weak. It gives him no reason to face Brock Lesnar because, well, if he can't beat Roman Reigns, how's he going to beat a guy like Brock Lesnar. It doesn't make sense. So this match has to go Braun Strowman's way. And I see it as being a very hard-hitting match. Nobody is clear yet what this match is supposed to be. There's been a lot of rumors. It could be an ambulance match. It could be a hardcore match. It could be a lot of things. No one truly knows yet. But it looks like they are leaning towards some sort of ambulance match. And I kind of hope that's what it is, because it would make sense for it to go in that direction. It gives that match that hardcore feel. They can take this match throughout the arena wherever they want, as long as they end up back at the ambulance and one of them has to be put inside. I give this match to Braun Strowman. There is no other clear-cut way you can predict this match, because if he's facing Brock Lesnar in like a month or two at one of the next big pay-per-views, he has to be the victor over Roman Reigns this weekend, or else it doesn't make sense. Like I said, it does not make sense for him to lose against Roman Reigns and still think he can beat Brock Lesnar. He has to win this match at Payback. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I am not going to lean in Roman Reigns' direction. Fuck that bullshit. Every match that he's in, I want to see him lose. So, for now, I'm going to end this at that point. I thank you for joining me. And please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and continue to follow Pillar to Post every day here on YouTube.com. And I will see you later with the rest of my news and rumors show. So take it easy and have a good night.